Phil, what's this? Hello. Oh, do we have a visitor? Milo, hello. Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. You got me and Phil here today. We're filming a bit of a life update because we've got loads of questions. As I'm filming this, the Buddy videos are going live. So like yesterday it was Teddy meeting Buddy, and today is Mia. I think tonight will be Phil and then Nico. So yeah, so those videos are going live at the moment and we're getting tons of questions. I have already filmed the story of Buddy video, so that would have already gone live by this point. So if you haven't watched that and you want all of the backstory, then I'll leave a link in the description box below to that video, because I know there's loads of questions on that, and that should answer everything for you. But yeah, in short, Buddy, so Shane's got a little sister Ella who often features on the channel. She lives around the corner from us. She stays here every single weekend. We're very, very close. She's a teenager now, and in Shane's family they all had golden retrievers as pets. So for Ella, now that she's reached a certain age, we've got her a golden retriever, and he is an extended member of our family, just as Claude is. And for us, the most crucial part is to ensure that he is here whilst he's a baby with Mama Nico, because she's not so friendly with some other dogs when they get older. We are trying to keep them bonded. So he's been living with us for the past month, and he sees us every weekend thereafter. So yeah, he's not technically ours, but he is ours. He's our cousin, let's say. But there's a full story on that and why we got a golden retriever and everything else, which I'll leave in the description box below. But I did a thing on Instagram where you ask for... Oh, Milo's here now. Milo, hi. I did a thing on Instagram where ask us all your questions. So many were about Buddy, but I hope that clears everything up as quickly as possible for you. In terms of... the majority of questions were house updates. And I've been putting off filming this video, I've got to be honest, because we had a house, we put an offer in, it was accepted, surveyors were getting instructed, and it's a term in the UK called gazumpted, which is where the seller of the house can accept another offer, a competing offer. So at that point, after accepting ours, they got another offer, and we ended up getting into a bidding war at that point, putting in more money than we'd originally offered, and it ended up going another 20,000 over what our offer was accepted for, and at that point we backed out. The house was perfect. It had 3 acres, it had an annex, it had a separate outbuilding as well that we could have turned into a further annex, and there were going to be Airbnb opportunities, and there was going to be land. I was even looking at Shetland ponies. Like I thought we had it made. I thought it was finally happening for us. This was back in August, and in September we lost it, and then I kept thinking that this other buyer would fall through and that they would come back to us, and that we would, you know, the house would be ours. Because it went so much over the original offer, but it hasn't. It was a real offer. Like, part of me, I think, in my head thought that this person didn't exist. They were just trying to see what they could get out of us, but it was all true, and the house has sold to them. So gutted was an understatement. Like, I'd already started furniture shopping and everything, and I got way too invested. I know that. I started picturing where my Christmas trees were going to go. I was going to be in by Christmas, like... Yeah, it was ridiculous, but it was our dream house, and now everything that we see thereafter does not compare to that house. And I know that everything happens for a reason, and something else will come up, but for the last month or so, I think I've just been so disheartened and just drained of trying to find somewhere that I just stopped looking for a bit. I'm back looking now, but that's why I didn't film the update, just because it was just too new, too fresh. Hadn't got over the loss of the house that I never even had, and the picture of the family that I thought we were going to have, you know, the ponies, the extra animals, the land, all of that, cancelling orders for sofas, all that sort of stuff. So lessons that were learned, and the house hunt begins again, and it's even more difficult than ever now, because we saw that house and we knew how much land it had with it. Now a normal 1 acre garden seems small to us, because we had one with 3 acres before, well, nearly 4 acres I think it had, 3.7 acres. So it's hard now trying to put things back into perspective, because all I find myself doing is comparing it to the house that I thought we were moving into. But in my mind I keep trying to tell myself that everything happens for a reason. The next house will come along eventually. We did find another one that was comparable, but but it was also cheaper, so it wasn't quite as nice, and we put an offer in on that one, but then didn't get accepted for that. So at the moment we have no offers pending, no house viewings booked. There's a couple in the watch list, but again, nothing that's making us want to make the journey to go and view the house yet, so nothing that's screaming to us. So yeah, that's the house update. We are still stuck here. I appreciate all the comments around having 4 dogs in the house, in this small house, etc, etc, etc. We have the savings to move. We've got the mortgage in principle, we just haven't found the house yet. And in all honesty, it is a 3-bedroom house. There's me, Shane and a baby. Like, we can include all of our pets in this house. You know, pets live in shelters, in crates and things like that. So, you know, it's too small for us. I admit that I feel like it's too small for us, but at the same time, our pets aren't in danger because of the size of our house at the moment. And we will be moving as soon as that house that is supposed to be ours comes on the market, and it will. I am envisioning it. I'm putting it on my vision board. It will have acres. I will not settle for just a large garden. Although at certain points I am getting that desperate to move that I'm considering just settling for having a large garden and not fields for future animals. So yeah, I will keep you all updated, but realistically I don't think much is going to happen before Christmas. Most people don't put their houses up for sale, so nothing much is being added at the moment. Maybe in the new year we'll see some more. So yeah, that covers the house. What else do we have? Is Phil not friendly with guys, or is it just Derek? Well, it's not just Derek, because you saw Daniel, who is he is my friend technically, but we grew up together, so our parents lived next door. My mum was his childminder. I consider him my brother. We've lived together in Manchester when I first moved to Manchester and I first moved out of home. Like, we are like siblings. We consider each other siblings. Same with his sister, and with my real brother and his real sister. So you've seen Phil with Daniel, and Daniel, again, he's known since he was a puppy, since he was a baby. I don't know what it is about certain people that Phil just doesn't like. I do find that as Phil's getting older, he is getting grumpier and less tolerant of people as well. But yeah, he just doesn't like Daniel. But at the same time, he's Phil. He's so chilled. He just does this to them and expects to be stroked while doing this low growl at them, letting them know that they're in his territory. So no, it's not just Derek. There are some other guys, but it's not just men. He's done it to some of my female friends before. I've just never filmed that. I think it depends on the person, you know, how comfortable they are around the dog, how well they know Phil to know that he's actually not going to react, because some friends do get a bit nervous around him. But for the most part, he is dead friendly. It's just when he's in his own home, he's just, and he's tired, you know, it's like usually night times or late in the afternoon when I'm filming this, and he's just tired and fed up. Have you spoken to Keyush, Keyush's owner Jodie, about a possible meetup? Yes, we have. The timings just haven't worked out, but we really do hope to meet up with Keyush at some point. And I really hope to meet up with Sherpa again. That was a fleeting visit, and I cannot wait to see him again. Sherpa is the most amazing dog. When is Mia's birthday party next month? Yes, Amelia is turning 2 years old in 3 weeks. Her birthday's on the 5th of December, so we're going to be having a birthday party. At the moment, she's obsessed with, last year it was rainbow themed. This year she's obsessed with dinosaurs and all animals, so I'm doing a combination of like a safari with lions, giraffes, things like that, as well as dinosaurs. So it's a bit of a mixture, but it's a animal dinosaur party. Safari dinosaur party is what I'm going with. That's my theme. Very random theme. When is the next collab with Major? Oh, I do get a lot of comments on Major actually. So Kaz, Major's mum, has uploaded a video explaining the situation, but she's been quite poorly recently and she's got a new job and lots of things going on. And yeah, her focus right now is on Major and home life and getting better herself. Nothing serious. But also the fact that she's got a new job, she needs to make sure she's in work when she can be. So I think it's been probably a month. This is the longest that we've not seen each other. We still speak to each other weekly, if not daily. But yeah, she's just focusing on health and work right now. YouTube wise, she's coming back. She's getting videos ready. And hopefully we're going to see her again soon. And I cannot wait to see Teddy's reaction when he does finally get to see Major. Another question, quite a few about this, about Milo being the solo cat and how it's not fair. So for those that don't know, Ella has Buddy now, and she has Claude, who is her cat that comes around often. There's been quite a few videos of Claude. Claude hates Mia with a passion. So he's visited less since Amelia. But yeah, we do have another cat in the family. The reason I don't have another cat is honestly the hair. When two dogs play, it's fine. And obviously these guys are hairy minus Phil and his bald patch. But when two cats play, the hair that comes off of them is insane. And when Claude comes to stay for a week or so, when Ella goes on holiday or anything like that, I can't even there's no point even getting the Hoover out upstairs. So it's just covered in cat hair because instantly more sheds off them no matter how much you brush them. And it is more so to do with the cat hair. And quite honestly, Milo, I don't genuinely think he considers himself a cat. He is one of the dogs. He is the boss of the dogs. He loves playing with Teddy. I don't feel like me not having a second cat is a detriment to Milo. He's fine. He's happy with the dogs. He doesn't consider himself lesser because of them. And I'm just happy with one cat at the moment. There's no intention to get a second cat, even if we move into another house. If we moved into another house, the goal would be to get like an outdoor pet, like a horse, a Shetland pony, or goats or something for the fields that we're going to have, that I'm putting on my vision board. How are you managing 4 dogs, a cat, a baby, working full-time and running a YouTube channel? Well, technically it's 3 dogs plus 1 cat and 5 fish. Let's not forget the fish. I'll just insert a clip here because I know a couple of you have spotted them in the backgrounds of videos. So yeah, we have fish now too. We're fish people. Not that they take up much time, but it is a struggle. It involves getting up early. It involves having a dog walker 3 times a week. My nephew, who is the greatest help ever, that is a huge help now. We didn't used to have that before. That was my main thing, is especially since having Mia, ensuring that dogs still getting a really long walks, like a minimum of 1 hour every day, Monday to Friday when working, and a lot longer at the weekend. We'll do bike rides, lake walks, you know, things like that. So, or we do the hire the dog fields and meet up with people. So that was my biggest stress, was when especially when I first had Mia and I wasn't capable of getting out and doing the walks like I used to, and when I was heavily pregnant, I felt like my dogs were suffering as a result of it. And that's when my nephew came into the picture and started helping out. He's 16, so he's really supportive now. Shane's busy with YouTube behind the scenes. I do all the content creation usually at the weekend. Shane does all the analytics, what's going well, what's not working, the business side of behind the scenes of, and the contract management and all of that. There's loads that goes on behind it. He does all of that. Any tips on off-leash walking? We've had a lab puppy that runs away all the time. And do you train them yourself or put them through stages? So off-lead training, I think you have to start from day 1, and if you don't, it's harder. But my biggest thing would be dog fields. It would be enclosed spaces, and a really good one, if you can get to it, is I don't know if you can see this, I don't know if I was pointing there, a little sniff there. My biggest one, if you can, is beaches. That was easiest for me to try and train them off lead because it's so wide. There's not really anywhere that they can go, especially when the tide's out. On a quiet day or even a rainy day, just letting them go, let them run and train them to come back. So what I always do with Teddy, who's still not great at recall, you know, if there's another dog in the vicinity, I've learned the distance the dog needs to be for Teddy to shoot. As soon as I let Teddy off lead, what I do is I give him a treat straight away, because he's not really food motivated, but I like to let him know that I've got treats and they're the high value, they're the really good treats. I give him one straight away when I let him off lead. I let him go for a couple of minutes and then I tell him to Teddy come back, and I'll give him another treat at that point, and then that's my first just test. There's no distractions around at this point. Then he's off to do what he wants, and he will bolt every so often. I've shown you videos of him bolting after geese and all sorts. He does do that, but at the same time it's going to happen. I know he's friendly, he's not a danger. I'm very mindful if I see another dog on lead, because for me, if a dog's on lead, that means it's on lead for a reason. There's a reason I keep Nico on lead, unless I'm in a big open space and I can see a long way away. So yeah, if another dog's off lead, I don't mind Teddy running over to them, and most owners don't mind Teddy running over to them, because the assumption is if your dog's off lead, it's friendly. And for me, and I know this is probably going to go against what some people do, I don't call Teddy back when he's running away. I let him run. If I know he's running with a purpose, if I know I can see the target that he's got in mind of who he wants to go and say hello to, go for it. Go say hi, providing it's all safe and secure. It's not a dog on lead or anything like that. Otherwise, I'm bolting after him. But if he runs away and he does his thing, I know he's just going over to sniff, so I give him a minute. Literally, I will literally count for like 30 seconds. He'll have his sniff and then I'll call him back, because I know if I call whilst he's running, he's not going to listen to me. But if I wait and let him have his sniff, let him say hello, and then I call him, he's going to come back. And that was a hard thing to grasp. and it only happens, I think, for like the first year or so of having them off lead. Like Phil would have never, Phil, I just have to have her treat my hand and he's not walking away from the side of me no matter what's around. Nico is amazing off lead. I just worry in case she turns. So like Nico is the most trained. I could walk her on a road off lead and she wouldn't go into the road, she wouldn't differ like 2 meters from me, she'll always stay next to me. But the risk is that another dog could come over to her, or another off-lead dog could come over to her, assuming that she's friendly, and then she'll go into attack mode. So generally I try to keep her on lead. But Teddy, for now, is in his puppy stage. He's not neutered, which doesn't help. When they're not done, they are a lot more fleeing than a dog that is neutered. So there's that. But he'll be done in the next 6 months. And yeah, I accept that in certain cases it will happen. I only really walk them in big open spaces. I don't go to like parks where kids are or anything like that. It's fields, it's beaches, it's lakes, it's places where there aren't kids parks, because one, kids panic and parents of children that don't have dogs panic. 2, Phil loves a pram because Mia always feeds him, so he assumes that any child in a pram has food that he can take. So I have to monitor him around prams. So yeah, I do walk him in specific places, but I think you've just got to try it. And the best ways to start are secure walking dog areas, beaches, or big open spaces like farmers' fields, if you've got a farmer nearby that you can ask to use, pay a little bit of money, anything like that to build up. But it's not something that happens overnight. I would say, honestly, 1 to 2 years is how long it takes to fully train recall, depending upon what breed you've got. But yeah, we do it from literally the first walk that they go out on at 12 weeks old. And one other thing, it is easier when you've got more than one pet, because if you've got one pet, golden child, that you can control and that listens to you, generally when you've got another pet with them, they will follow the leader. So yeah, it does help when you've got more than one pet. So if you have a friend or a neighbour that you can start walking with, things like that would help with a dog, obviously, that's under control. And I think I'll leave it at that for now. Got quite a few more questions, so I might film a second follow-up one. But yeah, that is our life update on all things house related, pets, what else? Fish, new fish. Yeah, that's our life update. I hope you enjoyed. If you do have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below, and we'll film another one very, very soon. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you all soon. Bye everyone.